Alright, I'm going to try to make this quick. This is my chicken coop slash chicken sunroom. As you can see, the front of the tarp has been coated with the roofing material. The side hasn't. The reason is the sun that we get here is so intense it degrades this tarp. This tarp's only a year old and it's already starting to fall apart, so that's why I put the stuff on there. Originally my solar panels were on this roof, and since I put a metal roof on the chicken run, making it a sunroom, I moved them here. That way there they can get a lot of sun. The little panel is for, the two little panels up on top, those are for chicken doors. There's one on the back side too. And you can see it, there's one over there. That one there's also for another chicken door. Something I've done just today is there's a piece of metal flashing behind that. And it also came down. The reason is I'll explain later, but it's to block light at night. This is the north side. As you can see, the tarp's not rolled out right now. I just got the shade cloth there. The reason why I did this roof is every year I spend $60 to $80 on a tarp to cover this. And then I usually buy 2 shade cloths to cover the whole thing for the summertime. A tarp runs, well, like $60 to $80. The 2 shade cloths together run a little over $110. The roofing panels and the bracing and the material that I put on it, the total cost was $300. So for what I spent in 2 years, I made a permanent roof on this. And it'll stay cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. Alright, this is the access to the nesting box through the roof. Here, this is some 17 mil duct tape. There's actually like 5 layers. Underneath all that there is a piano hinge, and the screws come up through the bottom out through the top. That's why there's a little gap there. And then there's some silicone on it and the roofing material over it to make it waterproof. It doesn't go all the way to the edge because actually the opening is like right here. Actually like right here underneath. So the water can't get in. Not that it matters because there's another coop inside there, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'm opening it up. As you can see, there's Weeble's in there. She doesn't like being bothered. There's a cross brace that goes across here. There's lines that go down attached to the internal roof on the baby's chicken coop. When you lift up this panel, the whole thing opens so you can access the nesting box. Now on the main doors, you can see this is something I've done. I've added a fan. It's 12 volts and it runs directly off of the solar when I have it on. There's also a chicken door right there. The reason why that's covered up is because it's water resistant, not waterproof. And I didn't have that lip over it in the gutter at the time, so that's why that's on there. That I did last year. Now, there are 4 100-watt solar panels. One of them is 250s together. It comes as a suitcase for redundancy. I separated the two, making it 250s. This 50 over here goes to the fan when I want it. The other 50 and the 3 100s go to the battery, giving me 350 watts of solar charging my batteries, 50 watts if I want it for the fan. One other thing I'm going to point out is on the outside here, you can see there's the white tarp. On the back side out there is the original mesh that comes with the chicken run. And then I got a 3-foot piece of chicken wire that goes down and turns out. As you can see on the ground right there, it comes out. It goes from there all the way around, continuous around the chicken run, down over here. And as you can see, it wraps around and it's continuous. And it actually ties into the original chicken coop. That was because before I had the fencing put up, I had dogs trying to get in. As you can see, there's big boulders holding it all down. And then out front here, it is separated. It's cut and wrapped around these 2 corners where the door is. But it does go down and wraps around the frame, so the dogs could not dig under even where the door was at. Now the door has multiple framing done addition to it, plus it has the original or the new chicken wire put on it instead of the stuff that came with. Originally I put a brace across here to reinforce the door. Since then I've added a brace that went down and then across for the support for the chicken door. And then there's another brace across here for the fan. Coming inside, I ended up using 100 additional feet of 3/4 inch EMT. As you can see, I grooved it so it would form and fit, make good tight fits, or make it a good frame. So in between the two, there's 2 panels. This is like 6 foot, 3 on each side. So in between it, there's 2 braces that go there, and then one that goes down low. Those braces are pretty much where the seams are on the roofing panel. You can see there's the main brace right there. And then over here is another one that's going down, and then of course that's the baby's chicken coop. And you can see there's the nesting box and the access to it. I didn't use the water system this year. I do have a pressure regulator for it. I didn't have it last year, so I had to keep the valves cracked, just barely on. Now I can drop it all the way down to 1 psi if I want, all the way up to 32 psi. I need like 5 psi. All right, underneath here, there's the charge controller underneath this door, and the battery's behind that. As you can see, it's charging at 13.6 volts. Comes around, goes out to one of the panels right there. There's another panel, and there you can see the wiring going across. Now there's additional framing going across the roof. The chicken coop is not sitting perfectly level. As you can see over on this side, it's higher there, and partially it's because of the roof on here. But the original chicken coop that's behind me was built perfectly level, and same with the baby's coop is perfectly level. And then the chicken enclosure here was just put in place for chickens, but it was attached to the original frame, and the ground slopes 1.5 feet for 12 feet. So it's not perfectly level, but it's all sealed in. As you can see, I got framing, additional framing. You can see a nice little tie-in point here, reinforcing that corner. The framing goes down behind that. There's the original frame. There's that. In here's the original chicken coop. The lights are already off, but at night the lights will kick on. These are 7,000 Kelvin, so it's a white light in here. What I did here was, you can see there's a separation. You can see a little gap in there. There's white, and then it turns black. And that there is because of the outside light that I installed yesterday. At full brightness, it's a 3,400 watt light, parking lot light, 20 feet in the air. It has a circumference radius of 100 square feet, and that means the chicken coop gets light on this wall here. So to keep them from being blinded at night, there's black on there now. So this is another thing I put in this year, is a little fan. Help circulate the air. That's controlled by this controller right here. The lights, the heat plate when I need it, and the fan are all come off of this 12 to 120 volt inverter. And that's pretty much what this is all for. This typically, as it is right now, the battery will drop down to about 12.5 volts, which still means pretty damn charged. 12.6 volts. This morning it was 12.5 because I left a fan on all night long by accident. So yesterday I finished. I put my corner on. The flashing I originally got was 10 inches wide by 50 feet long. I bought it for $9. It was like $9.73. With my military discount, it knocked it down to $9 for that full roll. I went to go buy it. That was last month. I went to go buy it this month. I'm sorry, Kamala Harris, but there's serious inflation. It went from $9 to $39. Yeah, she can go kiss off. Anyhow, so I made gutters out of the 10-inch there. This I actually bought, it turned out to be $10 for 10 feet of 6-inch. So I bought 6-inch. I cut it in half, made it 3-inch, did a roll on it, made a seam there, and I did the same here. I rolled it, I put a roll on it, and closing in my just to make it a nice transition from the tarp to the metal.